In here?
Yes.
We're in here.
That's what yours.
How's everything good?
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right.
Great. Let's get into the ceiling. Oh. Bernard, this is my mom. Hi. Enos is Bernard.
Nice to
Hi.
see you.
He does all the gardening around the building. Oh, beautiful. And
Thank
he's
you.
a wonderful garden at home.
Where are you visiting?
Portland, Maine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cold there.
Oh my gosh, freezing. Yeah, it's a lot nicer here.
I was talking to my best friend who lives in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he's like, I'm like, how you doing? He's like, it's cold. I'm like, yeah, it's cold here. It's been like 50 here. He's like, stop talking.
No sympathy. Did you get our guidance? Yeah. That's great. I should open the in the yellow. Yeah. You want a large one? This is a
Yeah, that was a good Thanksgiving.
yeah, it's really good. Yeah. An hour and then Airbnb. How's yours? Good.
Shabbat Shalom, Robin.
Shabbat Shalom.
Robin.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here to celebrate Shabbat this Thanksgiving weekend. We're grateful for you to be here, and we're grateful for Donnie, who's going to lead us for parts of the service. Robin, who walked out, who will lead us for a different part of the service, and Asher, who will lead. But we're grateful that y'all are here to celebrate Shabbat with us, so thanks for coming. We're going to go ahead and begin. I'm going to hand it off to Donnie, who will give us a start. Page 103. Please rise for Birchot HaShachar.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan us b'bina להבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשני בצלמו. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשני בת חולים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשני ישראל. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam פוקח עברים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam על פי שרומים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam מתיר אסורים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam זוקף כפופים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam חוקר הארץ על המים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam נותנים מצעדי גבר. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשה לי כל צורכי. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam עוזר ישראל בגבורה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam עוצר ישראל בתפארה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam הנותן ליד כוח. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המעביר שינה מעיניי ושמע מעטפיים.
You may be seated. We'll continue at the bottom, page 104.
Lord, שנינו היום בכל יום נתנו חסר וחכמים בנחל בני קוראינו ותגמרנו חסדים טובים ברוך אתה אדוני גמר חסדים טובים למה ישראל
Page 105.
לעולם ידם ירשמנו אדוני אנחנו חברי ברית החברים ובחר שמשפט הרבה ומוריה זרע יצחק חידוש נקד גבי המזבח אתה תקום בנך בחורך שמעבדך שאפת אותו ומשמחתך ששמחת בו כרת שמע ישראל בשומרון לפיכך אנחנו אשרינו בטוחי כרמים גורלנו ויפי ושתנו אשרינו שאנחנו משכימים וערבים אלו בקו אומרים כמים בכל יום שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד קדש שמך וקדשי שמך וקדש שמך למך ושלך צרים תביע קרננו ברוך אתה אדוני וקדש שמך ברבים
Page 110.
יהי רצון לפניך נעלינו ובתינו שבנה בית המקדש במהרה ויאמר נתתנו בהצלחה ושם לזכה ביד מהרה ובשנים קדמוניות קדיש דרבנן זה פage 100 יתקדש
Amen. Continue with a psalm for the day, Psalm 92, page 112.
היום יום שבת חדש שבו יושבים אומרים בבית המקדש ממשיך ליום השבת צדיק אדוני בקר לבנון יזכה שזורים בגנב ובסדרים יחליפו עבדים בסבב שמי ואני נהיו להגיד ישר נצוי בלוב להטבו
We'll continue, page 120, Psalm 30.
מזמור שיר חנוכת הבית לדוד הפכת מסביבי המחוזים, פיתחת שקים ותעשני שמחה, למען יזמח הכבוד לידם, אדוני אלוהי לעולם עודך.
Continue the Mourner's Cottage, page 121, as we invite those in mourning and those observing your texts, please rise.
יתקדש
rest of us also rise. Baruch Shema, page 122.
Baruch Shema, Vayahaolam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Ozer Bereshit, Baruch Omer Be'oseh, Baruch Ozer U'Mekayem, Baruch Me'ocher Ma'haaretz, Baruch Me'ocher Ma'habriyot, Baruch Meshalem Tzachot HaBriyot, Baruch Me'ocher B'Kiyam HaNetzach, Baruch Olam Matir, Baruch Shema, Yachid B'Ani Melech Mishubach Padesh Monador, Baruch Atah Adonai, Melech Nolad V'Tish B'Chol.
You may be seated. Continue page 123.
Adonai Kol Yishma David Melilotah. Ki kol Elohim Melilim B'Adonai Shamayim Asah. Tod Me'adar Panav V'Chatav Kama. Sing with me in the middle of page 124, and the transliteration is on the right on the left-hand side. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yihiyom hayam, Yihiyom hayam, Yihiyom hayam, oh, Yihiyom hayam, Yihiyom hayam, Yihiyom hayam, Amenu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachachu le'ha'akadoshо. Amenu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachachu le'ha'akadosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Amenu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Amenu. Amenu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachachu le'ha'akadosho.
Second paragraph, page 125.
Adonai tzvot asher v'tefach, Adonai Yashia melech yanenu b'yom koleinu. Middle of page 126, and the transliteration is to the right on the left-hand side. Ashia etam v'necha, v'alech yanachletecha, u'en v'naseh, ad ha'olam. Ashia etam v'necha, u'alech yanachletecha, u'en v'naseh, ad ha'olam. ואני בחסדך בטחתי יגעי בישועתך, אשיב על אדוני
Page 127.
Continue on page 131. Hallelujah.
We rise to Psalm 136, page 132. You may be seated.
Page 134. Mizmoshi Leon HaShabbat. Tzadik Adonai Yitbarach, Pe'az B'Bana Nizkeh, Shetunim B'Adonai V'Satorinu Yachifu, Odinu V'Sevad Shanim V'Anim Yiyu, Lehagid Yesh Adonai Tzui B'V'Atzabaho, Adonai Malach K'Udavesh, Kavesh Ne'Yisrael. Adonai Lo El Yamin, Yehi Chavadonai
135.
והוא רחום יחברם וישחית ובאשיב הפורר כל חמתו אדוני הושיע מאחייננו ביום חורנו
Continue with Ashrei, page 136.
אשר ישרה ויתך עוד יהלל בסלע אשר העם שככה חללו אשר העם שאדוני אלוהיו תהילה לתביא לבוא ממך אלוהי המלך ברוך שמך ללמד בכל יום הבוקר והלל שמך ללמד גדול אדוני וממולך מאוד ונגדולתו וחקר הולדו משבח מעשיך ובמותיך יגידו הדרכי הודך ודברי נפלותיך סיפה וזוזותיך יאמרו וגדולתך אספרנה זכר פרטוך יביאו וצדקתך ירננו אנו ברכו אדוני תודה חסד טוב אדוני להכו ורחמיו על כל מעשיו ידעו אדוני במעשיך וחסידיך יברכוך כבוד מלכותך יאמרו גבורתך ידברו להודיע לבני אדם גבוהך וכבוד אדם מלכותו מלכותך מלכות עולמים וממשלתך לכל טובתו שמח אדוני לכל הנופלים וזוקף לכל הכופרים ולכל עמך יסבהו ואתה נותן להם את הפלמיתו ותאחד ידך ומשביע לכל רצון צדיק אדוני לכל דרכיו וחסיד לכל מעשיו קרוב אדוני לכל כוריו וכל אשר ידעו באמת רצון יראיו יעשה את שבת המשפט יושיע שמר אדוני את כל אוהביו ואת כל שנים ישמיע תהילת אדוני יתברכי ולכל בשר שם קודשו ולעם בארץ ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם הללויה הללויה אני נפשי אדוני הללויה נברכי זמר גאותי אדוני שמענו ימצום במלאי ודל שם יברך ימלוך נעמי ציון דברו הללויה
Page 138.
הללויה כי טוב אמרנו כי נגנבה תהילה להגיד ליעקב חוקיו משפטיו ישראל לעשותן לכל גוי משפטים כבר ידעו הללויה
Page 139, Psalm 148.
הללויה לעולם ישמעם הללו במרומים וירם גאון למות ללכם חסדיו יבנה ישראל קרובו הללויה הללויה שיר עיני שיר חדש לאסור מלכם וזיקים ונכבדם בכבדם על זה לעשות במשפט הכבוד על כל חסידיו הללויה
Continue with Psalm 150, page 141.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
We rise, page 142.
כמו אבן במים עזים, היה שם אז ישיר משה ובני ישראל את השיר הזאת אדוני היום השיר אדוני יגבר סוס ולא
May be seated. We'll continue with Nishmat Kolchai, page 145.
נשמת כל חי, תברך בשמך אדוני אלוהים.
This lady, she needs to stay with the face, his face. По-русски говорит. Это женщина. Она должна лицом к людям. Почему она стоит спиной?
Я не знаю.
Скажите это.
Ну,
Раз-
после.
Она так хорошо говорит. Стоит спиной. Ну, что это? Этот столик, где она читает, его надо повернуть. И она будет с той стороны. Ну, что это? Спину все время
Я
смотрит.
буду говорить.
Скажите, Раба, когда вы будете рядом. Синит руку, он запит.
Я знаю.
Его кончон. Телки.
Не
Не беспокоит. Но это неприятно, что она все время спиной. Хорошо поет, хорошо поет. Но стой лицом к людям. Как там, как в том зале. Скажите ей. Что люди говорят. Так и скажи. Excuse me, please.
Я буду говорить.
Thank you, Reverend Downey, for leading us in Pesukei Tzimra. Beautiful job. We now invite Robin Benjamin to come up to lead us in Chakri, beginning 6 lines from the top, page 147.
Shokenat Maro Bikadosh Shemo Visharim Tinala Looking great Sadikim Tipara Feel the Shona Sitim Tiprama Uleker Kiroshim Tikadash Ukmahara Bero Shekhem Opa Kohak Sorim Lefaneka Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Eloteinu Lehodot Leha'el Leshabeh V'ta'el Romen Le'ader Le'vorek Le'aleu Kales Al Kodim Breshir Katish Behod David Ben Ishai Al Yeshiveh
Rise, page 148.
Yishtevah Shimcha Le'amoheinu Mirakot Ahoraot Yatavi Adolam Baruch Atah Adonai El Melech Batish Bachot El Havodot Atam Niflaot Havoher B'Shirei Zimram Melech Yikda Vitkada Shemei Rabbi V'Yomadi Brakirte V'Yamli Kakrite V'Chayi Chanu Gemei Chanu Chayi V'Kol Beit Yisrael V'Agla Yismon Kari V'Baru Amen Ye'esh Mera V'Bora V'Yomam Lo V'Yomaya Yitrak Yishtra V'Yomaya Har Bidlam Bidase, Bitadar Bitala Bitala Shne Kurisha Brevu, Elohim Kogatata Bashirata, Tishtahata Vadehemata, the Amiram Bialma, the Imaru, Amen. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yotzer Oru Borei Moshe. Osei Shalom U'Borei Et HaKol.
Page 150.
Ein kirchecha v'yezulatecha, efes kiltecha, u'nida melecha, v'dimilecha. Ein kirchecha Adonai Eloheinu b'olam hazeh, v'yezulacha malkeinu l'chayei ha'olam haba. Efes kiltecha bo'einu libod ha'mashiach, v'yeinu melecha moshienu l'tidat ha'meitim.
Page 151.
El Adon Makol HaMasim Baruch Bora V'Chiko Yeshama Gano V'Tivo Malei Olam Ta'atuvuna Sober Bimoto Amika Al-Tayot HaKodesh V'Ne'elam V'Alom V'Kamon Zebulu Mishor B'Nei Kiso Toby Me'orel Shebarel Eloheinu Yitzaram V'Dam V'Lina U'Maskel Koa U'Ura Natan Ba'em Lio Moshlim V'Kertehem Aleim Zilum Ki Noga Na'er Zilum Select the Satan, the stars in the dawn. Oh, see the name of the stone, the trouble of English was a hour, Verina, the second Maputo, Kara, Shemesh, why is one for Raha, the King, Suratavana, Sheba, no, Imo. Tikarak Moshienu al Sheva Maaseh Yadeka V'Al Meoreh Osher Asita Yefaru Kaselam.
Page 153.
Kulam Huvim, Kulam Birorim, Kulam Giborim, V'Kulam Usim, V'Kulam Yidraret Samkanam, V'Kulam Potinetihem, B'Tushat Torah V'Shira Zimra, M'Varkim Shavim Karim, M'Maritzim, M'Mafishim, M'Mamlikim, Et Shem Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol. V'Kulam Mikoplim Aleihem, Amakut Shamayim Zeh Mizeh, V'Notim Reshut Zeh Lazeh. V'Chavtisha Samrana Harua, V'Safa V'Ravim HaKedosha, Kulam Keharonim V'Yomrim V'Yira. Kadosh kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. Adonai Tzidkenu, Yochvaretz Yekenu. Ka'alpani Mahayot HaKodesh, Terashkenu. V'nasiim li'umat seraphim, li'umatam mishavahim v'yorim. Baruch Adonai Yimkom. Al Sion, Tahir, V'nizkeru Anu, Mehera Le'oro. Or Hadash, Al Sion, Tahir, V'nizkeru Anu, Mehera Le'oro.
Continue with Ahava Rabba, page 154. We gather together our tzitzit as we continue with the third Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yata Eloheinu Elohecha, v'kol ha'amor, v'kol nafshecha, v'kol yerecha, v'hayu ha'arim ha'elah. In a moment, we'll continue with the Miyachamocha, after which we'll go straight into the Amidah. We'll chant pages 159 through 161 together, and then continue privately in Hebrew or in English through page 166. Please feel free to also add your own personal prayers and reflections during that time.
Israel, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Ha'anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Hasei Avot, U'Meidu Elim B'Neihem, L'Man Shemo V'Yaham, Melech Ozer V'Mashiach Baruch atah Adonai, Malei Avraham, U'Pei Sarah, Atah Gibor Elam Adonai, Ha'emet Imatav Moshiach, Mashiach Ruach U'Moridah Hashem, Mekakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Tzomech Noflim V'Nofech Olim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayei Emunato, L'Shemei Achar, Michamot Ha'al Gevurot, U'Midam Elam, Melech Enid U'Mechayeh, U'Matzliach Yeshua. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Ha'edim, Mekadesh et Shema Ba'olam, Kishem Shema Kishimoto Ishnei Marom, Vakatu Yad V'Echad V'Karazel El Zeviyamar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tziva'ot, Lo Haaretz Kedosh. Az B'Kol Rash Gadol, Adir B'Hazak Mashmi'im Po, Yinasim Yumat Serafim, Matam Baruch Yomei Ru, Baruch Adonai, Malkam Malkeinu, Malkeinu Tofiyah, Tzivot Aleinu, Yivachar Imanam Yuvah, Matzai Matzai Timo Pesiyon, Matzai Matzai Timo Pesiyon, V'charo B'yameinu, V'charo B'yameinu, V'yoam Ha'etz Yishkon, V'charo B'yameinu, V'charo B'yameinu, V'yoam Ha'etz Yishkon. Tzidkado v'tzidkadash, tzidkado v'tzidkadash, v'tov Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim yircha, v'dor 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 Netzakim, v'dor v'dor Netzakim, Tirena Malkutecha, Kadavar Amor, V'shirei Utecha, Tirena Malkutecha, Kadavar Amor, V'shirei Utecha. Ayadeh, David, Ayadeh, David, Ayadeh, Mashiach Tzidkecha.
Ayedeh David,
David,
Ayedeh
Ayedeh
David,
David,
Ayedeh David,
David, Mashiach Tzidkecha. Adonai Elohim, Elohai Yisrael, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador. Hallelujah.
Dor nagi galaka, netza nitzahim shafim akish, v'shivachari v'kilo yemush le'olam v'ayeh, yom elikado v'kado shatam, baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh.
We continue Friday. You're still praying, please take your time and finish at your own pace. We'll continue with Kaddish Shalom, page 167.
Yitira v'yitira shalei rabah, yom adi v'rafirte, yom lichmatute, v'chrei chonu k'mei chonu, v'yedek al beit Yisrael, v'adolav yizman k'rei v'nimeru.
Amen. Yetei shmei rabah v'vorah, ve'olam lo ve'omayah yitvarah.
Yitrak yishtada v'pa'ar yitman, v'yitase, yitadar v'yitalev yitalav shnei kusha.
Brevu.
Elam yikol v'chata v'shirata, tishbachata v'nehamata, damiran v'yona v'yimeru.
Amen.
That's what I'm about to call Yisrael, and I'm going to be Shmai, the Nina, Amen. Yeshua, brother, Shemai, I hear later be all called Yisrael, the Nina, Amen. Oh, say Shalom, Yirma, Puya, say Shalom. Oh, later be all called Yisrael, be all called Yoshte, Tevel, the Nina, Amen.
Beautiful job. coming. Thank you for leading us in Joffrey. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Nice to see you all here, and glad the tryptophan wore off and y'all were able to get here in time. Glad you're here, and glad you're here to celebrate Shabbat with us. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and took a few moments to think of all those things that you were grateful for as well. So thank you for being here this morning. We're going to go ahead and continue with the Torah service for today. Asher, I believe, is leading us.
Yes.
Page 168.
En kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, en k'ma'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai ilov, Yerushalayim, Ilecha levatatahamu, melech elam v'Yisrael, Adonai.
Rise, the ark is open.
And we should send you
Vayehi mitzvah Aaron vayomer Moshe, Adonai ve'yakutzu onecha, ve'yakutzu misanecha mipanecha, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'nemar Adonai v'Yerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, le'amo Yisrael v'Yerushalayim.
I am a servant of the Holy One whom I revere, whose precious Torah I revere in every time and place. Not on mortals nor on angels do I rely, but rather on the God of heaven, the God of truth, whose Torah is truth, and whose prophets are true, and who abounds in deeds of goodness and truth. It is in God that I put my trust, and it is your holy and precious name that I utter praise. May it be your will that you open my heart to your Torah, that you fulfill the desires of my heart and the hearts of all your people, Israel, for goodness, for life, and for peace.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Gadol Shemo.
You may be seated. So welcome, and welcome back to Parshat Toldot, our Torah reading for today. With last week's Parshat concluding the story of Abraham, our Torah reading today begins with the story of his son Isaac. It opens both with Isaac's and Rebekah's struggles to conceive a child, followed by her having a difficult pregnancy with twins, who are named when they're born Esau and Jacob, with God telling her that they represent two separate nations, and the older will serve the younger. The twins grow up and could not be more different, with Esau being the hunter and Jacob being smaller and more home-loving, and ultimately more opportunistic, convincing Esau to sell his birthright in exchange for a cup of stew. Isaac then mirrors his father, passing off Rebekah as his sister rather than his wife as they go to Gerar to escape a famine. The king finds out, though, and reveals the secret to everyone. The Parsha closes by talking how the Philistines closed up the wells that Abraham had dug. And after some negotiating, Isaac redigs the same wells. Our Torah reading for today begins with Genesis chapter 25, verse 19. You can find it in your Etz Chaim Chumashim, page 146.
בנשמו ראשון, ברוך שאתה תורה וסברי קדושתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Ve'elet hoktot Yitzchak ben Abraham homid et Yitzchak. ויצחק בן 40 שנה וקחתו את רבקה בת בתואל ארמי מבטן ארם אחו ובן ארמי לו אישה ויפר יצחק לארנו אל נוכח ishtaho kirarahi, Vayatelora vatarika ishto, Vayitzchok setzum, Abalim bekirbaha, Vatomer im ayin lamazeh anochi, Vatered lidrosh et Adonai.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמנו והיומן לך בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. יעמוד נתן בן דוד נתן דוד
The second Aliyah begins with verse 23, page 147.
יעמוד
Third Aliyah begins with verse 27, bottom of page 147.
Amen. Vayigdelu ha'adim vayhi etzah. Ish yodeh tzayit ish sadeh. Yaakov ish ham yoshem halim. Vayehav Yitzchak et Esav tzayit befiv. V'yikah ohevet Yaakov. Yezer Yaakov. Zit vayavo Esav hasadeh. Zehu hayeh. Vayomer Esav el Yaakov, Aliteni nami nadom, adom azet yair, Anoki al kinkarashimo edom. Vayomer Yaakov, Hagai omet korat avihi. Vayomer Esav anoki holech amut amazeli bekorah. Vayomer Yaakov Yishava, Vayom Yishava lo, V'kohet b'torato Yaakov, Yaakov natan Esav, lechem ulevi nadashim, Vayocham vayesh, Vayakam vayelech, Vayivez Esav Yaakov.
Fourth Aliyah begins with chapter 26, verse 1, page 149.
Baruch Adonai Elohim,
ויתים אלוהים, וירד הקצבה, ויאמר פלישתים קרבה, וירא אליו אדוני, ויאמר אלי מצרים, שכון בארץ אשר מעלך, גור בארץ הזאת, ואין בה ברכך, כי לך לזרעך, אתן את כל ארצות האחר, וכימותי את השבועה, אשר משפטתי לאברהם אביך, והרפאתי את זרעך ככוכבי השמיים, ונתתי לזרעך את כל ארצות האחר, ויפרחו בזרעך כוכבי הארץ. עקב אשר שמע אברהם בקולי, וישמור משמרתי, מצוותיי וחוקותיי וטובותיי.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם איתך בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
The fifth aliyah can be found on page 150, verse 6.
וישב יצחק נגרר, וישאלו אנשי המקום לאשתו, ויאמר אחותי, כי ירא לאמור אשתי, פן יהרגוני אנשי המקום רבקה, כי טובה מאהתי, ויהי ירקדו שם הימים. וישכב אבימלך מלך פלישתים בעד החלום וירא, והנה יצחק מצחק את ברכת אשתו, ויקרא אבימלך ליצחק, ויאמר אף הנה אשתך היא, ואיך אמרת אחותי, ויאמר אליו יצחק, כי אמרתי הן אמות עליה, ויאמר אבימלך מה זאת עשית לנו, אם אהבת שפט אהבת העם את אשתך, והבאת עליה אשם, והבאת עלינו אשם, ויצהב אבימלך את כל העם לאמור, הנוגע באיש הזה אשתו תימד, ויזרע יצחק בארץ ההיא, נמצא שנה הוא 100 שנים, ויברכהו אדוני.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי ולא נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני
יעמוד יעקב בן אברהם והיה אישי.
Sixth aliyah begins with verse 13, bottom of page 150.
ויגש וילך לו ויקרב עד כי גדל מאוד, ויהי לו מקנה צור מקנה בקר, וקנה אותו פלשתים,
פלישתים וכל הבריאות, אשר חברו עבדי אביו, בני אברהם אביו, תם פלישתים וימכרם עפר, ויאמר אבימלך אל יצחק לבנו, כי יצאת ממנו מאוד.
ברוך אתה ה' אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתנה לנו תורת אמת והיום נתן בתוכנו ברוך אתה ה' אלוהינו.
יעמדו ונחי בנחלי זמן שימו בדמתו וינתו ועלייה שביעית.
Before we continue with the seventh Aliyah, we'll pause and do a Misha Barak for those who are ill. I'll begin the blessing and say the names of those we're thinking of in our community. If there's additional names you'd like to add, please feel free to do so as I look across the room. ישמר לך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה רבקה וחל ולאה, ויברך לבית החולים, Eli Gold, Michael Zeller Palmer, Stephen Dietz, Bernard Axel, Deborah Chardois, Barbara Grandy, Ben Hazen, Cindy Rousman, Miriam Bat-Tamar, David Winchester, Marie Cohen, Vicky Blink, Larry Schuster, Harold Seitlin, Honey Gottlieb, Jeffrey Goldman, Norman Zabel, Sarabat Golda, Susan Gerber, Mark Tenenbaum, Pam Leonard, Bill Bolin, Moshe Lahan, Karen Halpern, Haley Sanka, Virginia Macon Tuso, Wayne Norris, Perry Williams, Devorah Bat Yosefa, Jay Greenberg, Lisa Kaplan, John Peretti, Taylor Cabase, Patricia Lehman, Alfred Pantuso, Beverly Cooper, Penny Tapp, Janice Perrin, Ted Cabase, Jeff Sr., Bruce Weiser, Stephen Schneider, Bruce Patsara Nenu, Linda Mendel, Ann Bain, David Shmuel Ben Tovanachem Bazini, Rosa Bitterman, Ed and Sue Wall, Leah Haya Sora, Ina Ganam,
Elaine Bader,
Shirley Frolick,
Alon Moshe Ben Breda,
Ron Shore,
Mike Morale.
הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, החזיקם ברחותם, וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים רפואה, ונפש רפואה, ותוך שאר החולים, וחזק את ידי העוסקים בצורכיהם, שבאים לצורך רפואה קרוב, השתה בגלה בזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishavera, Imotenu, Nikor HaBracha, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema.
shlema, complete and speedy healing to all those in need of it during this time. We'll come back to our Torah reading for the 7th Aliyah, chapter 26, verse 17. You can find it page 151.
וילך משם יצחק, ויחמר חזרה וישב שם, וישוב יצחק, לחפור בארותם העיר, אשר חפרו בימי אברהם אביו, ויסתמו פלישתים בחומות אברהם, ויקרא להן שמות, השמות אשר קרא להן אביו, וכל בני יצחק בנחל, וימצאו שם מים חיים, ויריבו רגרא. אם רואה יצחק ומורד מים, וכאשר נובר עסק, יתעסקו עמו, והפכו דרך אחרת, ויריבו גם עליה, וכאשר מציתה, ותק מישה, והפכו דרך אחרת, ולא רבו עליה, וכאשר מרחובות, ויאמרו לקחה, הרחיב אדוני, ונברינו בארץ. יתגלה ויקדש שמי רבה, אמרתי רק יותר גם מלכותי, וחי ימותו יומך, וחי בכל בית ישראל, אברהם אברהם, ויצחק חיים, אמן, יש מרבה מבורך, לעולם רב מהמיה יתברך. יתברך, ישתבח, יתברך, יתנשא ויתהדר, יתהדר, שמי קודשה. בריחו. להילה מכל יחדה ושירתה. זו שפתה נחמתה, תמירם בעלמה. אמן.
Maftir Aliyah goes back to verse 19, page 151.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborah. Baruch Adonai Borach Olam Vaed. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim natan lanu et torato. Baruch et Adonai noten haTorah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet chayei olam natah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Please rise, we lift and cover the sacred.
Moshe, Yifnei b'nei Yisrael, Yadonai.
Siva Anu Moshe, Torah, 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 Siva Anu Moshe, Torah, 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 Siva Anu Moshe, Torah, 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 Siva Anu Moshe.
You may be seated. Our Haftarah for today comes from the prophet Malachi, one of the latest prophets dating to about the 5th century BCE. It opens with a condemnation of Edom, the descendants of Esau, mirroring God's prophecy to Rebekah in the Parsha. However, Malachi also accuses Israel, the descendants of Jacob, for using food, namely improper sacrifices, to despise God as Esau did to despise his birthright. It's only through proper ritual by the priests, he argues, that Israel will continue its success in relationship with God. Our Haftarah for today begins with Malachi chapter 1, verse 1, page 163.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bachar b'divim tovim v'ratzav b'divreihem hane'emarim behem Baruch atah Adonai aboker b'torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo v'yeh ha'emet v'tzedek Masa devar Adonai el Yisrael biyad malachi Ahavti etchem amar Adonai ve'amartem bama ahavtanu Halo ahav esav li'akov nu'um Adonai va'ohav et Yaakov V'et esav saneti va'asim et hara'av shmama v'et nachato l'tanot midbar Ki tomar Edom rusha hashnu v'nashu v'nivne charavot ko amar Adonai tzvaot hema hayivnu v'ani eheros v'kar'u lahem gevu rish'ah v'ha'am asher za'am Adonai al olam ve'ehem tir'ena v'antem tomru Yigdal Adonai me'av Lihu Yisrael Kein Yikaved Av Ve'eved Adonai Ve'im Ahav Ani Ayeh Kvodi Im Adonim Ani Aye mora'i ahar Adonai tzvaot lachem hakohanim bozeh shemi v'amartem bameh bazinu et shemecha Magishim al mizbechi lechem mego'al ve'amartem bameh גלנוכה באמרכם שולחן אדוני נמזהו וכי הגישון עיוור לזבוח אין רע וכי תגישו פיסח וחולה אין רע הקריבהו נא לפחתך הירצך הישא פניך אמר אדוני צבאות ואתה חלונה פניהם ויחננו מידכם הייתה זאת הישא מכם פנים אמר אדוני צבאות מי גם בכם ויזכור דלתיים ולא תאירו מזבחי חינם אין לי חפץ בכם אמר אדוני צבאות וממך לא ארצה מידכם כי מזרח שמש הנבוא גדול שני בגויים ובכל מקום מוכר לשמי ומנחה טהרה וכי גדול שמי בגויים אמר אדוני צבאות ואתם מחללים אותו באמרכם שולחן אדוני וגואלו וניבו נמזח לו ואמרתם הנה מטלאה והפכתם אותו אמר אדוני צבאות והבאתם כזו ואת הפיסח ואת החולה והבאתם את המנחה והארצה אותה מידכם אמר אדוני וארור נוכל ויש בעדרו זכר ונודר וזובח משחת לאדוני כי מלך גדול אני אמר אדוני צבאות ושמי נורא בגויים ואתה עליכם המצווה הזאת הכהנים אם לא תשמעו ואם לא תשימו על לב לתת כבוד לשמי אמר אדוני צבאות ושילחתי לכם את המארה ואהרותי את ברכותיכם וגם ארותיה כי אינכם שמים על לב הנני גואר לכם את הזרע וזריתי גרש על פניכם פרש חגיכם ונשא אתכם אליו וידעתם כי שלחתי עליכם המצווה הזאת להיות בריתי את הלוי אמר נצבאות בריתי הייתה איתו החיים והשלום ואתנן לו מורה ויראני ומפני שמי ניחתו תורת אמת הייתה בפיהו ואהבה לא נמצא בשפתיו ושלום ובני שור הלך איתי והרבים השיב מעוון כי שפתי כהן ישמרו דעת ותורה יבקשו מפיהו כי מלאך אדוני צבאות הוא ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם צור כל העמים צדיק בכל הדורות הנאמן האומר ויוסף המדבר ומקיים שכל דבריו אמת וצדק נאמן אתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ונאמנים דבריך אף הוא לא ישוב ביתם כי המלך נאמן ברחמן אתה ברוך אתה אדוני אל נאמן בכל דבריו וכן אפיון בית חיינו ולעלו בת נפש תושיע במהרה בימינו ברוך אתה אדוני צמח ציון לבניך שמחנו אדוני אלוהינו באליהו הנביא עבדך ובמלכות בית דוד משיחך במהרה יבוא ויגל ליבנו על כיסא לא ישב זר ולא ינקלו עוד אחרים את כבודו כי בשם קודשך נשבעת לו שלט בנרו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מגן דוד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ביום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך כי ברוך שמך בפיך חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת
Kol hakavod to Josh on the Haftorah. Thank you for leading that for us. And kol hakavod to the Zipker and Tom families for leading the Torah reading. Beautiful job to everybody. And kudos to Asher and Naomi for gabbaying. Thanks for being here and for celebrating. And kol hakavod to y'all for reading today. We're going to come back to our Sidurim. This time, page 177. With a prayer for our country. Any volunteers to read it for us this morning?
Our God and God of our ancestors, with mercy accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing upon this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, its judges, officers, and officials who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed so that peace and security, happiness and freedom will never depart from our land.
The Spirit is long. We pray that your Spirit will be in all hearts. Our
May it be your will that our land be a blessing to all who dwell on earth, and may you cause all peoples to dwell in friendship and freedom. Speedily fulfill the vision of your prophets. Nations shall mount up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. For all of them, from the least of them to the greatest, shall know me, and let us say,
Amen. You need a seat order if you don't have one. Got a couple more coming, so thank you, order. We'll continue with a prayer for the state of Israel, page 178. If somebody would like to lead that for us today. Yep. Wait, we're not.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Adina Shabbat Shemayim, stronghold and ever redeemer of the people of Israel, bless the state of Israel from the deep beginning of our redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say,
Amen. And we'll continue responsively in English with a prayer for peace, bottom of page 178.
May we see the day when war and bloodshed cease, when a great peace will embrace the whole world.
The nation will not turn nation, and we
For all who live on earth shall realize we have not come into being to hate or to destroy. We have come to being to praise, to labor, and to love.
Compassion God, first leaders of all nations who are our compassion.
Fulfill the promise made in Scripture. I will bring peace to the land, and you shall lie down, and no one shall terrify you.
I will rid the land of peace, and shall not pass by the Lord.
Let justice and righteousness flow like a mighty stream. Let God's peace fill the earth as the waters fill the sea. And let us say,
Amen.
We'll continue with the responsive chanting of Ashrei, page 181. No, you're leaving it? You sure?
Ashley put us on the spot.
That's good, I put them on the spot.
But what page is Ashley?
181.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha od yadenu chaseh Ashrei am shekafalo Ashrei am shadunai Tehila leDavid avo mincha Elohai hamelech Avacha shimcha leolam vaed Gadol Adonai umehulam meod veligdulato en chekel Hadal kevod hodecha v'divrei otecha sicha Sefer Avtucha yabiu v'tzidkacha yeranenu Adonai hakol v'rachamam al kol ma'asav כבוד מלכות היום, גבורתך ידברו. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור. אין יכול לך יסברו, ואתה נותן להם בטוחם בעיתו. צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו. רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שבת המשמר יושיע. תהילת אדוני ידבר פי, בדבר כל בשר, שם קודשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברך ויעשה בידו. Hallelujah.
We rise as we prepare to return the sacred Torah, page 183.
Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai You may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I thought, did it before once a couple times, but I thought today, instead of, in lieu of a sermon, I'd open it up for Q&A. So if there's anything you guys have been wondering about it from the Parsha, from the Haftarah, from the Siddur, from life, from the world, I'd open it up and we'll talk for a few minutes in lieu of me talking.
I had a question. Under Yaleh there's this. I will
let our resident historian Julian answer that one.
I put it up there like Thursday, but it should have come down.
No, he's talking about the bottom.
Where's this Olel Tayah?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Where is that in the Siddur?
It's in the Apocrypha.
I said it's crimson, right?
Yeah.
I'm by myself.
You got the lone almoner. Meanwhile, if you're rooting for Wisconsin today, I'll talk to you later. Yes, Kathy.
So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about thankfulness because of Thanksgiving. And it was interesting because I read a commentary online where it said that Judaism, that being thankful was the reason why we have so many blessings. A blessing on seeing a rainbow, a blessing on, of course, eating bread, a blessing, for almost everything that we do, there is a blessing. And so I just wondered, that resonated with me, and I just wondered if we could talk about that.
Sure. Yes, there is a blessing for pretty much everything that we do, whether it's eating, drinking, whether it's going to the bathroom. There's blessings for pretty much everything that we do in Judaism. And part of that is to help us garner recognition that, and appreciation that things don't have to be that way. So there's a possibility there's no food and that we can't eat. So we thank God for the food that we eat both before and after we eat it. As a way of thanking God both, there's the food here, and all the more so once we're hungry, now that we're no longer hungry, that we bless afterwards. Even the blessing for going to the bathroom says if we weren't able to go to the bathroom, bad things would happen to us. And so it's supposed to help garner us an appreciation and a recognition of what we have and of the world around us and the world that God created. One Rabbi Max Kadushin, has this idea called normal mysticism, which is the idea that we're supposed to elevate the everyday things to the holy and make everyday actions holy, and that's part of what Judaism tries to do, and that's part of what the blessings try to do, is to elevate these daily, ordinary actions to something holy by giving us a blessing to say with them, but also an appreciation of these everyday events. I saw your hand first. So.
Thank you. So I understand there's a lot of commentary on why it is that Isaac loved Esau so much when we read some things about him that are not so lovable. And I was just curious as to what your read on it is, and if that love was really returned. I guess that's a big part of my question.
As for the love being returned, there's all indications in the Parsha and in the Torah seem to indicate yes. In parts we didn't read today, you'll get this, Esau's very quick to do whatever Isaac asks him to do. And there seems to be a deep relationship there. So yes, I do think that's there. I was kind of skimming through the commentary as we were reading. There was an interesting comment there that Esau kind of represents what Isaac was not. And you see this sometimes in parent-child relationships where, the parent puts on the child hopes and dreams that he or she never got to achieve. And there's some indication that's a little bit of what's going on, is Jacob seems to be a little more like Isaac in terms of personality. But Esau's different, and Esau's kind of what Isaac wished he could have been. And so there's a little, I think that's kind of, at least one commentary makes that guess today, that that's why Isaac loved Esau more, because it was everything that he had always hoped to be and never could be. I thought that, is he, yes.
Well, it really isn't the right place to bring this question up, but I will anyway. One of the things always has disturbed me has been the first paragraph after the Shema, saying things that really, I bet very few of us really believe. And
Ve'ahavta?
Yeah, no.
V'haya and Shema?
Yeah, you know, if
Providing
we
rain.
don't do this, it won't rain, and so on. Those are really very difficult things to believe. And the question is, how could we really keep on saying those things, repeating that prayer, and yet in our heart of hearts, we don't really believe it.
Okay, so does everybody know and understand the question? So the question was in the second paragraph of the Shema, which we call V'haya Shema in Hebrew. It talks about how if you observe the mitzvot, good things will come, and God will cause the rain to fall, and you'll have enough fruit, and you'll get a good harvest, and things like that. But if you don't follow the mitzvot, then God will stop the rain from coming, and you won't have food, and everything will kind of fall apart. And his question is, how do we keep saying that? Because we don't actually, how many of us actually believe God will cause the rain to fall or not fall based on our particular actions? Okay, a couple, but not the majority of us. So the way I understand that instead is part of what the Shema, the Ve'ahavta, and prayer and mitzvot are all trying to do is to help us deepen and further our relationship with God. And to help provide us with a spiritual life and a spiritual being that helps support us at all times. So when we do the mitzvot, when we pray, when we strengthen that relationship, that provides us with more spiritual nourishment. When we don't, we feel more disconnected from God. And so the way I understand that is when you do the mitzvot, when you develop that relationship, then no matter what is going on in the outside world, you're always going to feel like you're blessed, and you're going to feel like you're gifted. You're going to feel like you have enough. You're going to feel like whatever amount of rain it rains, you're going to appreciate. Whatever amount of food you're able to harvest, you're going to appreciate. And that when you have that relationship, it's going to provide you the spiritual base that whatever happens, you still feel fulfilled by it. But when you disconnect, when you don't observe the mitzvot, when you don't pray, when you feel disconnected from God, then no matter how much it rains, it's always going to feel like it's not enough. No matter how much you harvest, it's always going to feel like there's not enough. And so that's the way I interpret it, is that it's not literal necessarily, but that it's going to it addresses our spiritual lives and how we disconnect, and how we feel when we're connected or not. I know you had a question. Is this connected to that? Or? Okay, then go ahead.
So how are you supposed to connect to the spiritual, like you were saying, if you have trouble connecting to a higher power to begin with?
So the good question. The question is, how do you, if you don't feel connected in the first place, then how do you motivate yourself to do it? The rabbis have a debate in the Talmud about whether or not it's better to do something with intention or to just do it, or to do it without intention. And part of what they say is you do it even without intention, and doing it once it becomes regular enough, you'll come to it after that. So I think the question, so some of it is performing the mitzvot, doing some of these things, by doing it, you'll kind of come to an understanding of what's going on anyway. And it'll provide you support and base and help you struggle with that question as you're going along with it. You see this in relationships sometimes, where you do things that don't actually make sense, but you do it anyway to help the relationship grow. And so you might have questions, you might have challenges, and I think that's good. And observing meets vote, prayer, things like that will help you wrestle more deeply with the questions that you're struggling.
The portion is a little strange in one regard, problematic. Rebecca is told from the very beginning that Jacob will get the blessing. And yet the way it sets up, she has to lie and cheat in order to effect that. And that's a little weird.
Okay.
Why do you have to lie and cheat to accomplish what's supposed to happen anyway?
So the question is, Rebecca has to resort to lying and cheating in order to fulfill the prophecy that was given to her. I'm reminded a little bit of the Matrix.
I think it's the first time I've heard that in Age of Armageddon.
Not with me. Anybody seen that movie, The Matrix?
Yeah.
Okay. If you remember the first movie, there's a scene where the main Keanu Reeves character, Neo, goes in to see the Oracle. And she says to him, "Don't worry about the vase." And he says, "What vase?" And he turns and knocks over the vase. And he says, I'm sorry. She said, "I told you not to worry about it." And he says, "But how'd you know?" She goes, what's really going to, I can't remember the exact phrase, but what's really going to tie your head up in knots would you have broken the vase if I hadn't said it. Exactly. So there's a little bit of that, I think, going on here also. Is Rebecca, would this have happened if Rebecca hadn't been told this was going to happen? So if Rebecca didn't know from the beginning that Jacob was supposed to be the dominant one, would any of this have happened? Or was it, if this was destined anyway, was she just fulfilling destiny? I'm not sure there's a clear answer to that question necessarily, other than she was ensuring what she interpreted as divine will from going on. And sometimes when you are in a position, as women were socioculturally in that time, you might have to resort to other means to make sure that your power is expressed and that your will is done.
Both in this section and with Abraham, it's interesting that you have patriarchs who have incredible faith in the divine, yet feel compelled to lie about their spouse when they go into a foreign country and say, I'm willing to leave everything that I know to go. I'm willing to sacrifice my son, but I don't know if they're going to believe that this is my wife and that I'll be saved. So I'm going to lie. This happens both with the father and son, and why?
So I was looking through the Chumash commentary today on this, because that's true to what it said. And if you look at the parsha for today on this, it says, see commentary on chapter 12 or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so I flip back to see that, and what it says is that in both cases, our patriarch is faced with a dilemma between moral and mortal, between doing what's right but risking themselves to do what's right. And the commentary actually cites Nachmanides, Rambam, in saying that Abraham chose poorly. That he actually sinned by not having enough faith in God to think that God would protect him and Sarah anyway. So that's one way to look at
And he
it.
passed that on to his son.
So whether he passed it on, there's some interesting notes of that. Isaac, there's some things that are seen with Isaac in which he's kind of, some commentaries take him down a notch by saying he doesn't actually do anything new. What does he do? He just repeats everything that his father did. There's no innovation. Other commentaries say, but okay, he might not do anything new, but he's passing down the tradition. He's an important link. But there's something to be said that in passing down what you've learned from your ancestors. Again, the Chumash points out that, as we get older, we often look at what our parents did and we're like, why are they doing that? That's not the right thing to do. And then as we get older, we find ourselves doing the same things. And we find ourselves doing things that we said we wouldn't do as we got older. And so there's a level that they wonder how much is Isaac hearing the stories and being like, no, but when faced with the same dilemma, he falls back into what he knows.
That's a bit, I'm small.
Last question.
That decision to say she's his sister puts his life in enormous danger. Maybe it saves him, they won't kill him. But as a sister, she's free to be taken as a wife by someone else. And
Yes, the commentaries both on Abraham and Isaac say that.
He saves himself by putting his wife in danger. Yes.
Hence, not why Ramban is not a big fan of this decision. Points out clearly, like, if he had only had more faith, he wouldn't have been faced with this dilemma. But,
That's what happens when your wife is 75 and is knockout torches.
which she's a beautiful thing.
Maybe she can fend for herself.
Well, Kol HaKavod, thank you for some interesting questions today. We're going to come back. Okay, so page 1 with Chatzi Kaddish. We'll continue the Musaf service beginning with Chatzi Kaddish, page 184.
Itkara vikara shmei rabba Mantra kitev yamim mafudei v'chayim odu yomeh odu V'ayet kolet Yisrael Magala Magala Uvizman kavim Timru Amen Yeshmei rabba v'mora
Guys, for the Musaf Amidah, will be 10 pages 185 through 187 together, and then continue privately through page 192. Please feel free to use the Hebrew, the English, or add your own personal prayers during this time.
Ashitaruah Moira Hashem, Lechakel Chaim Bechesed, Lechaye Metim Berachamim, Somet Noflim Lerofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Ishenei Afar, Michamot Al Gevurot, Umidom Elah, Melech Mimit Umekayem, Umashiach Yeshua. Shim, Shim Kodesh,
Continue private. printing, please take your time and finish at your own pace. We'll continue middle page 191, Sim Shalom.
Shalom ba'olam, lo ba'u brachah, and b'chesed v'rachamim. Aleinu ve'avon Yisrael, ya-na-na-na-na-na, Vateinu avinu, kulanu ke'echad, kulanu ke'echad, Yormanecha, Adonai, Adonai Eloheinu, Torah hayim ve'avat chesed, u'tzedakah u'benacham, Yerabim v'chayim v'shalom, v'toveinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, v'vorech v'chol sha'am,
We'll continue with Kaddish Shalom, page 203. Page 204.
Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Aleinu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shekinu, Avotenu, V'lefanecha, Eketol Tasafim, Yanai, Yananai, Yananai, Yananai,
We rise for Elena, page 205. Be seated. This time we take a moment to remember all those who, though they no longer walk this earth, remain alive in our hearts and minds. We recognize in the past week we observed the yearsites of Bootsy Abelson, George Burke, Bertha Michelson Deal, Elaine Black, Abba Romberg, Morris Jacob Brooks, Ann Cohn, Lena Copeland, Mary Culpepper, Max Edith, Taft Epstein, Libby Friedman, Leonard Gold, Joseph Goldberg, Molly Gottlieb, Howard Green, Rebecca Green, Gregory Greenberg, Gertrude Grobner, Paul Hansman, Max Herbert, Frida Josephs, Ruby Kahn, Marvin Coleman, Ben Kaplan, Dave Leeson, Rebecca Wexler Levin, William Bell, Isidore Mazer, Sophie Pollock, Vivian Ralston, Ralph Roseman, Sarah Safer, Sylvan Seth, Elaine Siegel, Diane Siegel, Annie Shealy, Molly Charlin, Phyllis Silverfield, Joseph Singer, David Solomon, Dave Stone, Hyman Tischler, Terrence Tracy, Morris Warner, Sam Wolf, Sadie Yannick, Flossie Zitra, and Becky Zufla. We also mourn the recent passing of Bruce Fleissig as well. Zichronam Livracha, may their memory be a blessing. We invite those in mourning and those observing yard sites to please rise to the Mourners Cottage, page 207. Before we conclude our service, invite Naomi to come up to share with us a few.
To have the pamphlet that somehow is in the shape of an paper airplane today. Paper airplane. We want to extend a warm welcome to all guests joining us for the first time, or for anyone joining us for the first time in a while. We're glad to have you at Temple Bethel, and I'd like to encourage everyone here to introduce yourself to anyone you may not know. Our Temple Bethel kitchens and staff are taking a well-deserved break this weekend. All are invited to join us after services for a potluck Thanksgiving lunch in the kids zone. We've had so many great educational opportunities lately, and we have one more to announce. Over the course of the next year, we'll be working on a skill building series, which will kick off on Sunday, December 4th, with a how-to led by Rabbi Hankum on having an aliyah and lifting the Torah. No experience necessary. Class starts at 4 p.m. and all are invited to stay for the 5:30 Ma'ariv service. We also have the weekly Beit Midrash, My Jewish Book and Holiday Club in all of our villages up and running. It is not too late to join. Additionally, save the date for our next Torah on Tap on December 7th. We'll be meeting at Batch 40 Brewery, and the Men's Club will be generously sponsoring our first round of drinks. But this is not just for Men's Club members. Come and learn with us. Hanukkah will be here before we know it. Check your TBE email for registration links for Sisterhood's Latke Luncheon on December 11th and our Shanghai Shabbat Ruach on December 16th. For the Latke Luncheon, we'll have kids' activities and a holiday share for our Intern Everything community. You can also save the date for our community candlelight on December 19th, which will feature Mandy's homemade souffleur. The cemetery committee is spearheading an exciting project to plant crepe myrtles at Elmwood in memory of your loved ones. See the Temple Bethel website and your congregational email to learn more about how you can participate. And finally, parents, don't forget to RSVP for our next family Shabbat on December 3rd. The next day, December 4th, is Magic City Mentions as well, so please remember to RSVP if you have a student in grades 3 to 7 who plans to join. You can always find programming information online and in your congregational email. Don't hesitate to give anyone a call with questions or with help registering for programs. Shabbat Shalom.
Social Action Committee is working with the entire community on the feeling guilty, taking names of children who will not get holiday gifts. It's on, there's a link on our website, but it goes to the Temple Emmanuel website. You can go straight there. Feeling guilty, pick a child. The gifts are due next Friday. So use your the Thanksgiving specials, pick a child, and you know, and the gifts are just to be dropped off at Temple Emmanuel, so we don't have to transport them.
Also with the Social Action Committee, we are still doing our annual coat and blanket drive. So if you have any warm coats and blankets, please bring them to the donation closet right here in the reading room, and they'll be donated to those who are experiencing homelessness.
Thanks so much.
I just want to take a minute to welcome back Leonid Shilkrot. We've missed him for many, many months, and we're thrilled that he is here this morning after too long absence, and we wish him good health and that we'll get to see him every week from now on. It's a long time.
Again, we'll, after services, we're going to head down, we'll do Kiddush here, and then we'll go head downstairs to the kids zone. If you brought something for the potluck, you can go bring it downstairs. If you didn't bring anything, you're still welcome to join us. We'd still love to have lunch with you, and we'll join you downstairs for lunch. But first, we'll conclude with Adon Olam, page 211.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Hashem Kol, Yisir Yikra, Nasa, Takol, Asar Melech Shemo Yikra, Adon Olam, V'yacharei, Yiklot HaKol, V'adon Yiklot Marach Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hodeh, Ve'hu Yeretzi Parah Adon Olam, Ve'hu Echad, Ve'en Sheni, Le'amshilo L'Achbirah Adon Olam, Ve'vireshi, Ve'litachli, Ve'lo Ha'ozeh HaMizrach Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, V'terem Kol, Yisir Yikra,
Donnie, Asher, and Robin for leading us in services today. Thank you for leading. Please rise for Kiddush. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashamayim la'asot et Hashamayim
בתורתם בריתו ובן בני ישראל אותי לעולם. בששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וילה.
זכור את יום השפעת לקדשו, ששת ימים טובות ועשיתך מלאכתך, ויום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך, לא תעשך מלאכה, אתה ובנך וביתך, עבדך ואמתך, ובהמתך וגרך, אשר משעריך, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וים ואת כל השבת, וירח ביום השביעי, כן וירח אדוני את יום השבת, ויתקדשהו סמרי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו מצוותיו וציוונו לעבודתי לה ידיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם הארץ. שבת שלום.
Your son's an architect.